Hi everybody! I was recently inspired by my good friend Jaden Lalonde to talk to you all about a scientific paper that I read today. And they have been doing like 60-second synopses of different scientific papers that they're reading, which I think is pretty cool. So hopefully some of you find this interesting. But anyway, I was inspired on my walk this morning when I saw two lizard species interacting. And I came back to my room to see if any research had been done on their interactions, and it has. And I found this awesome PhD dissertation written by Todd Campbell at the University of Tennessee, who studied the effects of an exotic lizard on a native lizard in Florida using islands as experimental units. So essentially he had 6 islands that he was using where the green anole, scientific name Anolis carolinensis, was present on all 6. And he introduced the non-native brown anole, or Anolis sagrei, to 3 of the islands. So those were his treatment islands. And 3 of the islands remained unchanged, which were his control. On all of the islands, he was doing mark recapture studies to estimate population densities. He was doing stomach content analyses, which he could determine diet preferences from. And then he was also taking habitat indices to see if there were differences in the habitat preference between the 2 species. So long story short, what he found was that the brown anole was outcompeting the green anole, and the green anole population was declining on the treatment islands. He found that on the control islands, the population, diet, and habitat of the native green anole remained constant throughout the 3-year study. However, on the treatment islands, their populations declined when brown anole was introduced. Their habitat actually shifted, so where they would normally be on the ground, they were found higher up in the understory canopy. He found that both the brown anole and the green anole were eating each other's hatchlings, but it was asymmetrical. So the brown anole, the introduced species, had more of an impact on the native. And he also found that the green anole was unable to remain viable. Their population was unable to remain viable in habitat where vegetation was limited. So their resource was limited. The brown anole outcompeted. Anyway, it was an awesome paper. Thank you, Todd Campbell. Hopefully I'm doing it justice. He did a lot more work than that, but these were the 3 findings that I really wanted to discuss because they were relevant to what I saw today, which was competition for habitat, essentially. However, the interaction that I saw today was not exactly aligned with the story that Todd Campbell found. My little green anole that I saw today stood her ground against the brown anole, which you can see from my photos. And yeah, it was awesome. So anyway, hope you enjoyed this little synopsis. I included the paper in case anyone's interested in reading more about it. And take a look at my photos because they're super funny.